Hear your voice.
Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for joining a special edition of the show. We are broadcasting from the TWF studios on what looks to be an absolutely gorgeous day after the freaking monsoon that we had the other day. I am, of course, your host, BangEm South, Jason Fastkade, and I am joined by my illustrious co-host, the best in the world today. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And pay attention here, because this is the only guy that I know that I think warned me about or informed me about NXT Spartanburg and NXT Concord or NXT Charlotte or NXT Greenville last year and didn't do it this year. And we both missed out on just amazing shows. So, Trent, we got a lot to get to, man. We had some outstanding shows this week. I know you have a lot of comments, some dislikes, some likes, some critiques. So are you ready to start the show, man?
I'm ready.
No, Trent. You got to pay attention, man. This is the part where I repeat something stupid and you got to get a little bit louder. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome, man. Let's stop stalling and let's get right into the show. Now, Trent, we're going to kick off the show talking about Raw. Obviously, it's the first show in the series of weekly shows that WWE puts on. So I think the whole world is talking about the Braun Strowman Big Show spot. Obviously, we've seen that before. I guess it's Big Show's spot now, and since he's apparently gonna call it quits pretty soon, he's getting in the most that he can do right now, and that was a great spot, right?
Yeah. Everything that Braun Strowman did this week on Raw, I absolutely love. From the opening promo to throwing Kalisto in a trash can to even when he got thrown into the garage door by the Big Show, just the look on his face, like, what in the world did I just get hit by? Was just perfect. I'm loving everything they're doing with Braun Strowman right now.
Did you see the wrestling ability that he had in the match when, he was flipping around? He did and I'm going to credit it to Cesaro, but the wrist hold where he's on his back and then he kips up or whatever. I was like, what the heck is going on? First of all, why are they allowing him to do this? But man, he was out there just showing off, man. And it's shocking because he's a 7-footer. He's a 300-pound guy, but that's great athleticism, man. Braun was out there balling on Monday night.
Yeah, and Big Show, he wasn't doing too bad either. He was getting around pretty good on there too.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. It was almost a size difference because you're used to Big Show being a gajillion pounds heavy, but Braun almost looked bigger than him. Almost picked up Big Show with ease. But for big man, that was a hell of a match. And for a second, man, you thought you were watching a cruiserweight match the way they were just flying around.
Yeah. I think the two biggest things to take away from this first is, obviously the ring break spot and the crazy bump the referee took in that spot.
Yeah,
he just flew out of the ring.
Yeah, it seemed like he knew it was coming, but maybe it caught him off guard or something like. I don't know. He just seemed out of place. Did he get injured?
I don't think he did. No.
Okay, because in the replays you see more attention paid to the referee
right
than the guy. So I know before, like they had elevated the ring, right? Like they put a lot of hydraulics under it. So when it fell flat, it just kind of deflated. This one looked like it almost went down on certain sides and then kind of had a little slanted stance to it at the end, but. That's the spot, man. That's the spot, right? You had Big Show and Brock do it originally. Then you got Mark Henry and Brock, if I'm not mistaken.
Mark Henry and Big Show.
Sorry, Mark Henry and Big Show. Was there anyone after that before Monday night?
No.
Okay. So that's the list. That's the list of gargantuans that have done that spot, and I'm pretty sure they'll bring it back around in 4 years, I guess.
Yeah. And another big thing out of that is instead of just ending the show with them both laying there, they actually had Braun get up from it and walk away.
And I mean, this is the show where we give our likes and dislikes. That was the part I didn't like because on the other spots, both guys were down, like they were damn near dead and medical attention needed to be had. I understand. Right. I definitely understand that you're getting Braun over. I definitely do. But for him to pop up like this was, just an ordinary occasion, like it was a regular suplex. Yeah. I don't know. I think it took a little bit away from the spot, even though we've seen that before. And if you're a wrestling fan, it was kind of hokey. I just would have, I just wish he would have had to get medical assistance and maybe stood up at the end of the ramp or something like that, not right in the ring.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Do you see him beating Roman Reigns at Payback?
I don't know what the purpose is of him facing Reigns. Like what is on the line? Is it Payback or is it Vengeance or is it Backlash? Like what's the name of the pay-per-view?
Yeah, Payback.
Yeah, like I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of the match, not him winning or losing. I don't know what's on the line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully they do let him go over because he's supposed to be facing Brock. That's what everybody's talking about. They're leading to, which I would be so happy if they just pulled the trigger and put the title on him and took it away from Brock.
Nah, I mean, I don't see that happening. Obviously, you're going to get Brock holding the belt for the summer, and then we may get a Brock and Roman's match at SummerSlam. So if you get some kind of if you get a contender to go up against Brock and, you can do that for a couple of months or something, I think that'll work. But, yeah, anything that kind of stretch Roman and Brock out, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Are they doing wrong? You think they're doing Roman and Brock at SummerSlam or are they going to hold it for Mania next year?
Well, I'm just saying, man. I mean, even if you did it at SummerSlam, maybe you do it again at WrestleMania. Either way, that's where you're going. Everyone else on the roster is 200 pounds and less than 6 foot. So going in the ring with Brock, you're gonna need a guy with beef. I mean, if you're not bringing Big E over to Raw, then you need to dig up Earthquake or something like that because it's gonna look odd,
Yeah.
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 Let's move over to the tag team division, man, because we really took care of the heavyweight division since that's the only guy that's going up against Brock. But the tag team division, we got the Hardys still as champs. I had a very nostalgic feel watching Jeff Hardy and Cesaro go at it, man. It kind of put me in the same place when the Dudleys came back on the scene and they were having matches. How are you liking the tag team division right now?
I'm liking it, although I think they took a major hit this week when we found out that the Revival are going to be out for the next 2 months because of Dash Wilder's jaw being broke.
Now, Dash is the bald-headed one or the one with hair?
No, the one with hair.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, this happened at one of the shows that I could have visited, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Oh gosh, that's even worse. I could have been a first responder. I could have put it on Twitter before anybody. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So they're out. You probably won't have any singles matches or whatever because they just got introduced. So that's gonna put him on the shelf for a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
A couple of months, I think.
Ah, damn. Okay. Well, I mean, like you got the summer, man. That'll be fun.
He's supposed to have his jaw wired shut.
Oh wait. What happened?
I don't know. Just his jaw was broke or something. It must have been bad enough where they're gonna have to wire his jaw shut or something.
Oh dang! I thought it was like an arm or a leg or something. I didn't know it was his jaw.
Yeah. Which when I found out they're gonna have to wire his jaw shut, I got to thinking maybe we can get his first rap single like we did with Kanye West.
You're swinging for the fences today. Nicely done, man. That was like you did a better job of Morrow when he does that. Like you did a way better job than Otunga when he does that. But nice job, my friend. I don't think we'll get a rap song, but we should see the Revival back on the scene probably in the summer, man. And they're gonna rip stuff up. I wonder, did the tag team division change a little bit with them, being out now?
Oh well, let's see. We had Gallows and Anderson taking on Enzo and Cass again for the 10,000th time.
Yeah, and Gallows and Anderson, put the smackdown on them. No pun intended.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe the Revival had some, there were some plans for them. They did beat the New Day on the first night.
Right.
So, maybe they were going to do something, but now we'll see. Everything is riding on the Hardys right now. So,
yep.
If you can beat the Hardys, then you're great. If they get more matches out of the Hardys, that'll work too.
Yeah, and the word on the street is WWE's trying to work out a deal with TNA to let them use the broken character.
Yeah, I don't really think that there's a need to do that, man. Like, once again, that broken character is awesome. But the broken character is Vanguard 1, his son.
Right.
Not necessarily his wife.
Well, if they work all that out, they'll be able to bring them in.
Oh, that's so nice, dude. Wow. And you gotta go to the compound too. I think you gotta go to the compound.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if they, they'll probably pay TNA off. Probably what they'll do.
Yeah,
and they'll let them use all that.
Oh, that could be crazy, man. That could be crazy.
Yes. I mean, there's only so much you can get out of this nostalgia act. Just like there's only so much you could have gotten out of the Dudleys when they came back.
Right, and that's the part that sucks because you see them in bright colored clothing, and you just if you're a true wrestling fan, you know why they're doing it, but you want to see them break out of that and just take that stuff off. Maybe if they lose their tag titles, that's when we see. They come out of the shell and say, "Hey, this isn't us," and everything like that. So I, for one, can't wait for the broken gimmick to come back. Yeah,
and Matt Hardy's doing a really good job of kind of being sort of like a split personality on Twitter, going back and forth.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Now the IC title is currently held by the lazy and complacent Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
So obviously people were listening to our show and they realized that, hey, everyone feels the same way about Dean Ambrose. He's not a good seller and he just seems to phone it in most of the time.
Yep.
Where do you see this going, man? Like, do you see The Miz getting the IC title pretty soon, or or just becoming a stronger heel like he became on SmackDown?
I think if they want that title to mean anything, they have to get it off Ambrose.
Okay, I'm definitely in agreement with you there. As far as the Shield, man, I think he was always the weakest one, but jeez. I'm not a fan of Dean Ambrose anymore, man. Ever since those matches where I can literally see him not showing any kind of reaction to what just happened, like laying there like he was eating a bag of popcorn. Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird. I mean, maybe he's playing it up on Total Divas too, but he acts the same way on Total Divas. Like, he's always like, I don't know. He's a weird dude.
Oh, Trent today is 420, so he's always like he's on 420. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, sort of, yeah. Or if not that, the harder drug.
Wow.
It's like he's always like sweaty looking and like all clammy, like sweaty.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was supposed to get that Roddy Piper feel when he came in, or at least that's what I saw from him. But yeah, he looks like he hasn't taken a bath in a couple days. Not necessarily like the Sanity guys, but one thing that he did do was make sure that Renee Young put a lot of weave in her hair this week. So, that was a plus sign.
Yeah. There was a last week on Total Divas, they were going to like a fancy dinner and she was trying to like get him to comb his hair and he wasn't combing, so she tried to comb it for him. And I swear it was like watching a 5-year-old trying to get a 5-year-old dressed.
Nicely done, Trent. Nicely done.
I said that was like the way I used to act when my mom was trying to get me to go somewhere and get me ready to go somewhere when I was a kid, a little bitty kid. That's the way he acts.
We review his background. You said he came from like CZW or something like that.
Right.
I'm just not a fan. Like I'm literally just not a fan. He seems like a hardcore guy. I mean, like a wrestling type guy, hardcore type vibe, go with the wind type guy. But I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan.
Do you think a heel turn would help him?
I wasn't a real big proponent when he was in the Shield and he was just a bad guy by default. Like, I thought people liked him because he came up with a leather jacket. At the end of the day, Dean Ambrose is not my favorite guy. He was on your list of favorite wrestlers, but not anymore, right?
Nope.
Okay, now the women's division, man. Nia Jax is really running wild. Everybody else is around 4.5 feet, to be honest.
Right?
But Alexa Bliss, A
Yes.
plus, A plus.
Yes.
Yeah, she's out here doing her thing, man. So we're looking to see like a Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Bailey type feud going on,
It
or
looked that way. I mean, I like that 4-way they had because the combinations they had, I liked all the combinations between the Mickey and Sasha, the Mickey and Nia, the Alexa and Sasha, and Alexa and Nia. I liked all those combinations. I look forward to those matches.
yeah, man. The one thing that this superstar fake up did bring was new feuds. You know, we definitely talked about that. We really didn't think a lot of women would change like they did, but yeah, like you're gonna get different type of feuds, man. And you can at this point you can leave Bailey off the show, or you know, not have Bailey on the show as much and still get some interesting matches. Whereas before it seemed like they had Charlotte and Sasha every single week, or Charlotte and Bailey every single week. So it just spiced it up a little bit.
Yeah, and just show how high they are on Alexa. If you go on WWE.com and go to like the show page where it's got the list of the shows, it's got pictures of like Raw, SmackDown, and all that.
Yeah.
On the Raw thing, instead of having like Sasha or Bailey, they got Alexa on there.
Wow.
They have
Wow.
So they have like her and Brock and Rollins. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's a good sign though, man. That's a good sign. She got a great ovation when she first popped on the scene in Raw, or on Raw. So that's definitely a good thing, man. I can't wait to see the Sasha Banks Alexa Bliss match. I think that'll be a pretty good match on Raw.
Yeah. And I think we might be before long getting to the territory where it's she's a heel, but the people like her so much they have to turn her babyface.
Maybe so, man. I think they were in Ohio. She's from Cleveland, or she lived around Cleveland. Okay, cool. So yeah, she was definitely in home territory there. So that's probably why
it's
people
interesting. They usually make the person whose hometown lose.
Well, that is very true. Doesn't that usually play a part when it's the baby face though? Like if a heel lost, there's really nothing big about it. But like like it, Sasha lost in Massachusetts, and Sammy loses in Canada all the time, or like people lose on their birthday and stuff like that. I don't know, it just sucks.
Yeah. One person I think though that's been affected by this shakeup in the women is Emma. It's interesting because that one night it looked like she was going to be in that main picture, and now after this shakeup, it seems like she's taken the back seat, which I'm not too happy about.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, man. Was she on the show this week?
She had a backstage segment with Dana and Alicia Fox.
Oh, why?
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It was actually pretty good though, because after Dana kind of just shrugged her off last week, she's in there trying to start shit and get Dana to look bad in front of Foxy. It was actually a pretty funny segment just to watch Emma.
Okay.
And watch Fox just completely overreact. You know how she does.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so
Fox, who I now have read is not going with Dar anymore.
Jeez.
On 205.
205 Live is
now she's trying to go with Rich Swann.
205 Live is worse than Real Housewives of New Jersey or Love and Hip Hop. Any of those shows on VH1. It's pretty bad, but I don't know why they're trying to make Alicia Fox to be a slur. That's it. That's the only thing I don't understand. Okay, so we ran through heavyweight division, tag division, women's division, IC title. Anything else on Raw you want to get to before we move over to the blue brand?
Finn Balor. He's in an odd spot right now.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing anything.
Correct me if I'm wrong, man. I thought we were going to get like a Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor type feud last week.
Well, I guess we have to wait till after Payback because we're in this lovely House of Horrors match with Bray Wyatt.
So this is what I want to get to, and I mean we can kind of transition to SmackDown now. For
because that's all I got for Raw.
for a couple weeks now, we haven't known what the hell is going on. I mean, we had the superstar fake up, and that's shaking things around. That's shaking things up. That's twisting different views, or that's twisting your view on what you're watching. Thinking you'll see it next week, and you might not. So right now, I think we're getting a lot of superstars on the show, just either facing jobbers or just being on the show, just to get you familiar with them being on the show, but they don't have a feud yet.
Right.
So the next pay-per-view is Payback, and then the one after that is Backlash, right?
Yep.
But Payback is like a dual pay-per-view?
Well, it's supposed to be a Raw-only pay-per-view, but because of the shakeup, it's messed it all up.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, man. And like I think SmackDown is getting the brunt of it because you have a solid roster on paper. Let's put it that way, right? You got Nakamura, you got John Cena, you got AJ Styles, Todd Dillinger, you got American Alpha, you got the Usos. You got Charlotte, you got Naomi, you got Becky Lynch. You got a solid you got Hogsworth. You got a solid roster, but you don't have a live roster. John Cena's not there. From what I've read, Shinsuke is doing dark matches, right? So the one issue I brought up at the very beginning of this SmackDown 205 Live combination is I'm not watching 205 Live, man. So why would I stay and watch it? Well, Cena's gonna wrestle somebody at the end, so people who want to see Cena will get to see that. Now they got Nakamura in that role, hoping he'll, have people stay so they can get to chant Nakamura or sing the song. Which I get, that's cool. But you leave him off the show in a bigger capacity. So SmackDown, kind of suffers the brunt. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So this week we got a good show, Trent. But I feel that you didn't think that the show lived up to the expectations that we put on the Blue brand, right? Like we think that's the better show. You sent me a text earlier this week saying that you're not a fan of SmackDown anymore, man. Well, like what's going on with you and the Blue brand?
Well, I mean, this week in particular, I really enjoyed Raw, and I'd said at the end of the Raw that SmackDown's going to have to do something really big to top Raw. And not only did they not even come, they didn't even come close to even topping Raw. I don't feel like. True.
Well, go ahead.
We have to talk about this Jinder Mahal thing.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, that you sent me that thing, and I thought it was like a thing that some fake news or something, right? That's what we thought, right?
Right. So I sent you a link to a WrestleZone article, and in the article it said, according to substitute site here, whatever. Right. Jinder Mahal is going to win the 6-pack challenge, and he's going to be the number one contender for the WWE title. And I text you, I'm like, this is why you can't trust fake news nowadays. And lo and behold, man, he wins the match, albeit with the assistance of the Bollywood boys who may be going under the Singh brothers now. But he wins it with their help, and he lives up to everything that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, right?
What do you mean?
This is what we said about Jinder Mahal. If you're a listener of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, you will definitely agree that there's nothing wrong with Jinder Mahal other than the fact that they haven't given him any time to develop a character other than a normal Indian guy. That's the only thing that he has. So naturally, people, sorry to say, people are going to boo that guy. And he has the same tan as Mark Merrow, and his name could be Chris Swift. Do you remember when I said that?
Right.
Like his name could be Chris Swift, and if he didn't come out to that Homeland Taliban music, people would get excited for him, man. So if you gave him a gimmick, he could, and invested more time into him, he could get over. But Trent, I don't know about you, but I think they're going to make him the next Great Khali.
They're going to make him the next Muhammad Hassan, I think.
Not capitalize on any of his promo talents or the fact that he speaks 2 languages or anything like that, but they're just going to make him that foreigner who's against Americans.
Right. I mean, how in the world do you push the guy who's losing every week to a main event spot that on over one match?
Well, think of it this way, man. It might be the worst decision ever, or it might be a placeholder just to get you through the summer months, man. Because we all know these next couple of months they're gonna be trash, man. We can get the Money in the Bank pretty soon, but they're gonna be trash. If you give Jinder, who they really like the fact that he bulked up, and let's be honest, his body looks like the face of a 15-year-old boy going through puberty because he's obviously on a lot of steroids. But they like the fact that he developed his body to get into a frame that they could sell, right? Now you give him two cronies in the Bollywood Boys that just stretches his gimmick out. He doesn't have to be the guy getting beat up all the time. He could be the guy, and he could throw in his minions, a la Seth Rollins and J&J Security, to get RKO'd by Randy. So you can stretch that, man, and he could win by disqualification a lot of times. People are already gonna hate him because they think he's a part of ISIS, which I think is horrible, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to play off that, man. Like, they are definitely going to play off that. He won't get a catchphrase out of this. He won't. He'll probably get thrown in mud at the tribute for the troops, but they're gonna ride with this, man, and I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I'll give it a shot, I guess. I mean, I'm just worried about this match with him and Orton. I feel like it's gonna be very boring.
I think you're gonna get a lot of interaction with the Bollywood Boys. Like, you're gonna get probably 3 RKOs. And then Jinder goes to the back of the line, but you got like 6 weeks, 8 weeks before that pay-per-view even happens. So, let's capitalize off the Mahal era or the no hinder Jinder era. But I just don't want them to placate off the fact that he's Indian. So we gotta hate him because he's Indian.
Well, that's what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to take that and turn it up to 11. I mean, like, if I was them, I would have it be like, look, I've been pushed down, like a jobber so long. Now I'm going to do anything it takes to get up to the top. I mean, you could always go that way. Like, make it be more about his position on the card instead of him being, a complete racist or something. You know what I mean?
Trent,
something different. I mean, we've seen this racist thing so many times. It's old.
Trent, I wouldn't care if he was selling Avon on screen, man. Just give him something other than being Indian. Stop playing that homeland music and stop placating to that. My thing is, though, Trent, we thought it was a joke that he would win. Yeah. When you saw the Bollywood Boys out there helping him, did that kind of change your opinion on why he won?
A little bit, but it's still just puzzling. I mean, it's like, if you wanted to make somebody this, I mean, it's like you could have built him up a little bit. I mean, like, he just won it out of nowhere.
Listen, man,
it's like if Kurt Hawkins would have won a match. It's the same thing.
But if Kurt Hawkins would have won that match, because Zack Ryder came back and they formed the Edgeheads, or Shelton Benjamin and MVP came back because they were guys that were formerly in the WWE and now they're back. Would that have changed? That's what I'm saying. Out of those 6 guys, I guess you were supposed to pull for Luke Harper, who looks incredible as a 7-footer doing stuff that a cruiserweight would do, or the fact that Sami Zayn is definitely on cocaine. Those are 2 guys that you were supposed to root for, I guess. Right. Or Dolph, right? Yeah.
I mean, and that's another thing. Like, if guys like Luke Harper and Zayn and them can't get a shot over, Mahal, when are they ever going to get a shot?
Dude, we got a long year, man. Trent, I'm not against it because I could see what they could do.
What they could do.
What they could do.
Which in terms means what they probably won't do.
What they probably won't do. But let's be honest. We know that our followers are increasing. Our views are definitely going up. And we know that WWE listens to the show. So everything that we said a couple of weeks ago is holding true right now. If they're able to do that and change up Jinder, we'll see what happens. I just want to focus on the fact that it's early, man. Like, it's early. You had the superstar fake up happen. They're just showing people different faces. Maybe they get over, maybe they don't. But you got these next couple of months where literally nothing happens, man. You got the NBA playoffs coming up, hockey playoffs. They're going to have competition on Monday nights and definitely Tuesday nights. So it's going to be tricky, man. They're just kind of sliding by right now.
All right, I'll give it a chance and see where it goes. I'm not too fond of it, but I'll see where it goes.
Well, and in honor of Jinder Mahal, no hinder Jinder, hard body, I ate some Indian food today, which made me late for the show. That's all I'm saying. So, what else do we have to talk about as far as SmackDown goes, man?
We can talk about Efco and Primo defeating American Alpha.
Okay, this is what I want to get to, Trent, because we've talked about this several times. There's obviously a ladder for success in the WWE. First, you should start in NXT, and now we realize that SmackDown Live is like the next step, and then you go to Raw, right?
Right.
So one thing that I definitely like is SmackDown is, the live version of NXT where they don't really detail each championship division every week. They minimize and maximize where needed. For instance, I don't think the Usos were on TV this week, right?
No, they weren't.
Exactly. And the women's match, Naomi and Charlotte, got a commercial break, maybe even two, but I'm pretty sure it got one commercial break.
Yeah.
I didn't like this though, because you're one of your best teams, if not your best team outside of the title holders, got beat by a team that you're obviously going to have to do something with because you're paying them. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the guy that usually gets the hot tag, the dominant guy, the powerhouse guy, the guy who assists with the win. You beat him on something that was honestly fluky, right? I mean, that may be a new move, but it was honestly fluky. So what the heck is going on, man?
I have no idea. This was a SmackDown where I was all confused about what was happening.
Like, I didn't know if they gave the women's match a longer time frame and this suffered, but I would have rather Chad Gable got hit in the head and he lost, and Jason Jordan was on the outside or something. Just looked a little fluky, man.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll get a longer match from these two teams. Actually, might want seeing like a 3-way with them and the Usos. I think that'd be a really good match.
And they're going by the colognes, right?
Right.
Do you think?
The colognes, not the colons, like John Morton and the Miz used to call them.
Nicely done. Do you think that Carlito's coming back now that they're going under the cologne gimmick?
He might. I mean, he did say in an interview not too long ago, for the right amount of money, he'd be back.
All right. I'm just looking at this trio that we got with the Bollywood Boys and Hard Body, and maybe you could get Carlito back. It would definitely help the former Shining Stars, the former Los Matadores.
Yes.
Well, let's move on to the women's division. Trent, I'm not sure if you know, but there's a steampunk soiree this Saturday in Charlotte.
Yeah, so you told me.
Do you think Becky Lynch will show up, or Eric Rowan? Because I think he's on that same vibe right now too.
I don't know, but like I said, there might be some girls cosplaying there as her.
Yeah, I think you should come up, man. I definitely think you should come up. From the images, it looks like it could be awesome. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
But yeah, man. So we got Naomi and Charlotte on the SmackDown Live show with a commercial break. So they definitely had a long match.
Right.
I'm not a fan of when they say, "Hey, if you win this match, you get a title shot," because it usually means that the person's going to win the match.
Yeah. Especially because it's Charlotte. We probably know she's probably going to win it. So
do you think this is going to be another short reign for Naomi?
Yes.
Which sucks. Ah, man. The writing is definitely on the wall, and Charlotte's going to win pretty soon. If not this pay-per-view or at Backlash, right?
Yeah. And just like they did with Raw, she's going to be the centerpiece, and everybody else is going to be the background.
Yeah. I mean, just her presentation alone demands attention. I did like the fact that Naomi had a little, I hate this word, but she had a little swagger when she entered the ring. She basically just stood up to Charlotte like she wasn't going to back down and knocked her on her butt pretty quickly. So it seems like a real life feud could develop there. I'm interested to see what happens, man. Yeah.
We also had this, I guess you'd call it a welcoming committee with Natalya, Tamina, and Carmellsworth, where Charlotte just kind of like bumps into them, like shoulders them. And
Yeah.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Wait, who are your faces on SmackDown? It's a lot of heels.
Naomi and Becky.
Wow. You really only have 2 faces?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Jeez. I didn't even realize that, man. Okay. All right.
Which
Whatever.
Becky wasn't even on the show this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you only had heels. If you're not going to face the champion, and if the champion's not going to face a jobber, I just don't want to see them running into the same issue they had on Raw.
Yeah.
Where you really only focus on like 3 girls, 4 girls, and you see the same match over and over.
Right. I'm wondering if they're, because it looks like they might be heading toward a Natalya-Charlotte feud after this Naomi feud. I wonder if they're not going to turn Charlotte babyface.
Who would be your strongest heel? Tamina?
Natty?
Okay, who would be second? Carmelsworth?
Tamina?
I just got to see a little bit more out of Tamina, man. I don't know.
Tamina's weird. Like, they bring her back. Like, she's going to make this big impact, and she never does anything.
Yeah. I have to agree. I thought when she came back, you would play off the the cousin thing or a half sister-in-law, whatever, with Naomi and her.
Right.
The team bad gimmick or whatever. But maybe she goes face and becomes Naomi's bodyguard or something like that. Tamina just never really showed me anything outside of her looking like a freaking female bodyguard.
Yeah, I agree. Play her up like she's a big deal, though.
Yeah, they play her up like she could split you in half, and
they play her up like she's basically the Nia Jax of SmackDown.
But she has that domineering look. Like she definitely has that. But as far as in-ring capability, I haven't seen a lot from her for her to fit that Nia Jax, Awesome Kong type role.
I agree. And it's weird, like she's rarely ever in a match.
Yeah, she's usually that. She's really that bodyguard type. Like she'll stand on the apron when the spot calls for her to get on. Sorry, she'll stand on the floor when the spot calls for her to get on the apron and distract the ref. She'll do that, and the heel steals a victory or something like that, or she'll a survive kick or frog splash somebody to death. And I don't know, like that's all she does.
Yeah.
But whatever they're gonna do with her, good luck.
Work a match or anything any good or not?
Nah, and honestly, man, I think she's playing off that Samoan culture. So you got the Samoan drop, you got the kick to the face, and you got the frog splash. Other than that, or the Jimmy Snuka splash. So that's all I got from her ever. All right, man. So are we done with SmackDown?
Oh, we had Kevin Owens. He has a Great American Challenge now.
What are your thoughts on him being a great American hero or the American hero?
If it was anybody else but Kevin Owens, I probably wouldn't like it, but Kevin Owens can put over anything.
Okay, so you have faith that it's going to work. Do you have faith that, like you mentioned, man, SmackDown is suffering a little bit right now. So if Jericho beats him and he's not the champion, or if Jericho beats him, is it for the title and Jericho goes to SmackDown? Is Jericho going to stay on Raw or is Jericho going to come on SmackDown? That's the question.
Jericho's fixing to leave to go with Fozzy.
Oh, that sucks. I will say that I'm going to buy a "You Just Made a List" shirt.
Oh, yeah?
I think that's like the best shirt in the world. I'll probably wear it with a sports jacket or something like that. And if I buy a girl a drink and she looks at me, she's like, "What does your shirt say?" I'm like, "Baby, you just made the list." See what I did there?
You have to say it in the high-pitched way that Chris Jericho does it.
No. Maybe when I get the bill, I'll pop the pen a couple times.
Yeah.
I'll say, "You just made the list." And I'll sign. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we're getting the end of Jericho. I like the Kevin Owens gimmick. It's something new, man. It's something new, and he'll definitely build off of it. Like you said, Kevin Owens can get over anything.
This has to be leading to him and Cena, right?
The American Hero thing,
the Open Challenge.
I figured. Woof. Oh my gosh, what about Nakamura?
I have no clue what they're doing with him other than putting him in dark matches.
Right.
I thought they were doing something with him and Ziggler, but there wasn't no advancement in that this week.
Well, him and Ziggler are the dark match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. You're absolutely right, man. You are absolutely right. That would be a great way for everything to come full circle. and we would get something similar like we did in that summer when they did that. So yeah, having John Cena come back, that'll be a good option. Once we know that Jericho's gone, it's it's right down that lane.
Yeah. And another thing, Todd Dillinger, he would have been a perfect fit to put in that 6-way match. Why was he not in that thing?
Like I said, man, this is like the weirdest vibe for the superstar fake up. Obviously, they want to introduce stars, but they want to do it. Well, and hear me out on this. We've always talked about, hey, when you do something, when you debut a guy, you want to have a lot of video packages for people to wait for it, right? So right now they're making you wait. There's no reason for Ty Dillinger to have a match with some random guy. It's you just. Like, you want to keep showing video packages, showing how cool this guy is and how people are behind him. So when he comes out, you need 20,000 people showing their hands saying 10.
But, I mean, would you rather have video packages, or would you rather actually put him out there in the ring and let the people see how their fans react to him?
I don't know, man. Like, what else can you do but go down on a regular show? If he comes out at a pay-per-view, I think it's more intense. Or if they go back to a bigger city, I don't know how cool how much of a smart mark territory they were in on Tuesday night. They were in Louisville, Kentucky.
Right. Which we have to know they haven't been there in like forever. Ever since the match where Shawn Michaels and God faced Vince and Shane.
Ooh, yeah. So, put him on that Northeast tour where they're in Niagara Falls, and they're in Canada, and he'll probably work well up there. He'll definitely work well in Florida, but you got to consider where you are too, man. Louisville, Kentucky at the KFC Yum Center isn't high on the priority list.
Right. And the final thing for SmackDown was AJ Styles defeating Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, another guy who would have been a perfect fit in that 6-way.
Yeah, that 6-way was that 6-way has everybody talking. It does, man, but it has everybody talking. So Baron and Styles are going after the U.S. title. Is that right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, so they're fighting for that championship. I don't know why they wouldn't be fighting for the heavyweight championship.
That's what everybody else is wondering too, including me.
Yeah, but you got to get Baron Corbin over. Once again, Baron Corbin, it looks like a 45-year-old man that goes to the same biker bar every single week because his mom owns it just to order milk. And his hairline is terrible. But I think they're going to do a lot with Baron Corbin, making him like the giant of SmackDown. So he's going to be in a lot of these matches. And what better way to do it than with AJ Styles? Yeah.
So with AJ and Corbin going for the U.S. title, it looks like they're positioning the U.S. title as the top title on SmackDown.
You would think that. You would definitely think that, considering that Jinder Mahal is the number one contender now.
Right.
Let me ask you this: do you think there's any possibility that Bray Wyatt comes back to SmackDown?
No, because they've already started that stuff with him and Balor.
Okay. I'm just looking at what we typically like out of SmackDown. The video packages, the smoke and mirrors that they do, the stuff backstage, the way they make it look like a actual drama, right? You're losing a lot of those pieces with Bray Wyatt leaving. Yeah, you got Randy there, but you don't have Finn Balor. You got Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin and a lot of guys who look tough, but they don't really have a backstory to do some cool little spots in the backstage area. So we'll see what they can do, man.
Yep.
Okay.
That's SmackDown.
Yes, SmackDown is done. Nobody watches 205 Live other than the fact that if you want to date Alicia Foxx, you probably got a good chance.
Yeah, I probably even have a good chance right now while she's on there.
All right, man. So as far as NXT, I didn't get to watch NXT, but I read some of the spoilers. NXT is gonna take an uptick, man. Like they're gonna take an upswing, I believe.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys coming back. You got a lot of guys getting wins over prominent guys. And you're establishing new stars. Like you're filling out the divisions where, if you think about it, you're like, well, wow, they really only had maybe 3 guys in that division. But now you got different teams, you got different guys. So the roster is really blossoming, and they're going to get TV time, which is always good.
Yes. And too much to Rob McCarron from Shake Them Ropes pleasure, Tino Sabatelli will finally be making his NXT debut, or at least his. I think he's already had one match in NXT, but I think this is going to be his long-term debut.
That's the guy with 17 ab muscles, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he teamed up with Riddick Moss?
Yep.
Remember they were on the. I'm not saying they were on the shelf, but didn't they break up or injure Hideo with a power slam? Yep. Yeah. So hopefully they don't injure anybody else. But listen, man, if you get some new faces on the NXT roster, it's always a good thing, man. And they can get some monster gimmick that can take them over the top.
Yeah. Another thing, NXT's got a show in Chicago. When is this show supposed to be? Is it before the pay? No, it's not before Payback. It's before Backlash.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's not long.
It's like a house show.
No, it's like a pay-per-view takeover.
Oh, they're doing an NXT Chicago.
Yeah, like they're starting to get where they're doing these takeovers a little bit too much. I liked them when they were a bit more spread out.
Well, I like them when they're in big cities too. The San Antonio one was a little downhill, but if they do an NXT Chicago, I think that'll be awesome. Are they combining it with anything? Like, are they gonna have Money in the Bank in Chicago, or when is it? When is it?
I think it might. I'm not even sure when it is.
Okay, all right, but yeah,
I think it might be either Money in the Bank or Backlash.
Yeah, didn't you say that Money in the Bank is gonna, be one of their bright spots now? Like it may join the Big Five or become one of the Big Four or something like that. Yeah, so if they do an NXT Chicago, the night before the main pay-per-view, that'll be awesome, man.
Yeah,
that'd be freaking awesome. Anything in Chicago is good with me.
Yep. May 20th. Oh, it's the night before Backlash.
Okay, well, maybe Backlash is going to be a big pay-per-view. They're trying to spice that up.
Big Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. They're going to tear the house down.
Man, that's the only way that you can spice that up, man. Yeah. Dude, this is what I did realize. I think SmackDown is on a lull right now, but just from the spoilers alone, NXT's going up. So if NXT gets back to where they were, then that's a great thing, man. And I just remember watching weekends where the NXT Takeover show was better than the freaking WWE pay-per-view. So I'm all for that.
And from the card that I'm seeing so far, it looks like that we might be getting that for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm all in favor of NXT elevating to new heights.
Yeah, I mean, because for the last month or so, NXT's almost become like 205 Live. I mean, not that bad, but close to it where I didn't even watch it most weeks.
Yeah, I was checking out spoilers because you knew people were not necessarily leaving, but like you just knew their time was up. Like there was nothing else, or there was no reason for them to invest in another feud. Like it was just pointless. They needed to go.
Yep.
Okay, man. This is a wrestling podcast, but we talk more than wrestling. And one of the main items that we talk about is reality TV shows.
Yes.
Trent, real quick story here. I just recently got a puppy. I am an African American, so you can be stereotypical and guess what kind of puppy I got.
I won't do that.
Nicely done, Trent. Nicely done. Within 2 days of receiving this puppy, he got parvo. And definitely. So his name is Dozer. He's the cutest dog in the world, if you're wondering. But he got parvo, so we had to take him I had to take him to the animal hospital, and he was vomiting a lot. It was, I don't want to get too graphic here, but do you remember when Papa Shango put a spell on the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it freaking was. So after he's been in the and I'm dead serious, he's been in the hospital since Saturday. I'll go get him on tomorrow afternoon, but I thought about changing his name to the Great Muda. Or Tajiri. Yeah. But while I was there, paying out the ass to keep this dog alive, when the amount of money I paid, I just could have went and got another dog. Let's not even talk about that. But on the TV, they were promoing stuff on the news and everything like that. And I saw that the Amazing Race this year is going to put strangers together. Now, I was down in the dump, so I didn't really pay attention to it, but it looked like a freaking dating site, and then they're just going to have a game show on it. Am I right about that?
No, not that I know of, no.
Okay, so what are they doing this year on The Amazing Race?
Just like you said, they're putting strangers together instead of having where they're already know each other. They have done the dating thing before.
Oh, okay. Are they hoping that love takes place? I mean,
I think they're hoping that, but I don't see it happening with any of these teams.
okay. Okay. Trent, some of the girls on the Amazing Race could give some of the female talent on the WWE roster a run for their money in the, in the form of the biceps and the body era.
Oh yeah.
They look a little strong, man.
Oh, you missed one. The girl that she got out like 2 weeks ago. This girl was tall and she was more built than half the guys on there.
Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, I just saw that and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I know you're a big fan of CBS reality shows, so
they could be doing like some kind of task that where they have to be on like a game show or something. They've done that before.
Okay, well, what typically is the Amazing Race? They just go around trying to find. Is it like a big what is the word? Treasure hunt, or I mean.
No, not really. I mean, like they go around and they go around the world, and then each leg, they call them legs, has a detour and a roadblock. A roadblock is where one member of the team has to complete a task, and a detour is where you can choose between one or the other task. They give you 2 tasks to choose from, and it's basically the person that comes in last. Well, the team that comes in last is eliminated.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Now let's get to the show at hand. Are you watching Big Brother right now?
I'm fixing to in a minute.
So this is Big Brother Canada, which didn't you binge watch that like a couple months ago?
I did.
Okay, so where are we with Big Brother Canada?
We're fixing to go from 10 down to 9 tonight.
All right, and any updates on Survivor? Have you picked the chick or the dude that's going to win it?
Yeah, so last night they had a 2-hour episode, and we got it down to the top 11.
Okay, top 11. We're slowly getting down to the top 10. When they go top 10, man, you got to make a prediction.
Oh, I already made a prediction. Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. We're going to ride with Sarah. We're putting all our money on Sarah. If I lose the house, it's going to be because of Sarah.
Yep. She sort of has like a little bit of a Mickey James look to her, so that's why I picked her.
So
a little bit.
So she looks like a 40-year-old woman in a 16-year-old's body?
No, maybe she ain't that old. No. She
ain't that old. Okay. All right, cool. But we're gonna ride with Sarah. That's cool. You've made a prediction and you're never freaking wrong, man. It's kind of scary. I'm gonna start, doing the credits in slow motion to see if you're a producer or something like that. It's kind of scary, Trent, not lying. All right, man. Listeners of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, make sure that you hit the show up on social media. You can check out our Twitter page, the official Twitter page for the show, which is
at TWF_podcast.
Ladies, if you look like Sarah, if you look 30 years old, let's go 30 as the maximum. If you look 30 years old with, I can't say with the body like a 16-year-old though. That's bad.
No,
that's bad. Okay, let's just go back to the other one. All hot chicks, A+, Alexa Bliss, Eva Marie lookalikes, slide into Trent's DMs. You can tweet Trent at
MTW3589.
And as always, you can talk to this loudmouth at BangEm South. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/TWF Podcast. And we get into it. So you can send us some feedback, questions, just, comments for the show. Our email address is
twfpodcast@gmail.com.
And as always, remember to view the show on YouTube. You can follow us on YouTube and watch all the shows, listen to the podcast, listen and watch the playlist. All of our weekly shows are there. At YouTube. Our YouTube channel is The Wrestling Fans Podcast. Make sure that you like, retweet, subscribe to Facebook and YouTube, and definitely become a listener of The Wrestling Fans Podcast. Trent, it's time for you to plug your site.
My thoughts on prowrestling.blogspot.com. I'm kind of working on something. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but I'll just say that I'm taking a shot at fantasy booking something.
Tease the people a little bit, Trent. Nicely done, my friend. Nicely done. Trent, is there anything else, man?
I believe that's it.
Guys, Gals, thank you for listening. Trent, as always, it was a pleasure, man. I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right.